You'll be stopped. Your papers will be checked.
Can you believe that?
Yes, you are no longer automatically assumed to be, allowed into the region.
I mean, in your defense, I don't think people should be so attached to people's inability to speak certain languages the way they want them to, even if it's their own language. It depends on so many other factors. Do you get my point?
I get your point.
Yeah, and sometimes
defense,
even dialects can influence language in a way that there'll be slight differences which you may not necessarily identify.
Absolutely. But I also want to say that
Brilliant.
as an ambassador, it's not everything that you may know.
Yes. And life is a teaching moment all the time. Every time you learn something new.
Yeah. So thank you all for the messages. Now I know. I am still a proud ambassador for the Volta region.
You are an ambassador Tegbe. Yes. All right.
Partial ambassador.
But greetings from Addis Ababa.
Yes.
I brought Ethiopian coffee. Not for me. I met Justice Oman. Justice works with the organization that invited me, the All Africa Conference on Churches Liaison Office to the African Union, and he wanted me to bring some
even churches Ethiopian are inviting Mama Bina.
Coffee.
Is it that they don't okay?
They don't see you.
No.
Please.
Let's know.
As a brand ambassador for Sainthood, I don't know why I'm not being invited to some of these things.
But just before I exited the Addis airport into Addis Ababa, I saw "Welcome to your motherland." Welcome to your mother. I was like, I just smiled and I felt so proud. I was like, oh, they accepted me here. Yeah, and this is a beautiful place. Loved it.
Well, welcome back to your motherland.
Original motherland.
Thank you.
Yes.
Welcome back to the land of Gobe.
The land of Tebe.
Tebe, forever and ever. All right.
Should I get into the Drive Safe?
Let's do it.
All right. Our Drive Safe campaign is brought to you by Joe News and Multimedia Group, supported by Toyota Superior Quality and Imperial General Assurance Solid Protection. Avoid all distractions. Keep both eyes on the road and hands on the steering wheel. Be visible. Drive with your lights on when necessary. All right, that's how to drive safe.
Okay, then let's learn how to say it right. It's brought to us by Kingdom Books. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks.
Something must be done.
You say either, I say either.
3 perpetually perplexing prepositions that consistently cause confusion are in, on, and at. Let's see if we can simplify them once and for all in about a minute. First of all, in, on, and at are prepositions of time and place. That means they are used before nouns describing time or places. Now, to help explain things, let's remember them in this same order: in, on, at. That helps us to rank them from general to specific. In February, on Monday, at 6:38 a.m. See what I mean? When it comes to place, the concept is the same. In Kokumlemle, on Fanofa Street, at number 355. On and in can also be applied to transportation. Here, however, things are not so straightforward. You would say on a bus or on a train, but then you would say in a car. The really interesting one is with air travel, where you can be on a flight, but in an aeroplane. So after 1 minute of simplifying, we have learned that in, on, and at are certainly not always simple. But at least we have learned a few ways to say them right.
Let's call it home.
Yeah. All right then. Listen. Just before we get into the newspapers, let's do a quick recap of Newsfile, which dealt with the very, very important topic of Ashaiman.
If Al Qaeda into Ashaiman now, or Islamic State, and said, "Look, we want to recruit. what do you think would happen? And I think some heads must roll, because the brutalities that we've seen has heightened the vulnerabilities that we already face. So who in the high command planned this intervention, and what were the rules of engagement? The buck stops with the president.
What took place was an extrajudicial act aimed at brutalizing innocent people. And so this is going to add to the stock of our record. Definitely in our next state report, whether by U.S. State Department or which of Freedom House and so on, Ghana's rating is going to go down because of this brutality which has been meted out to citizens. And the buck stops with the president. He's a commander-in-chief. Something has gone wrong, and somebody should own up, and the president should do so. So not saying anything at all is very, very unfortunate.
What should happen is, first and foremost, we must see discipline from within the military itself. And this must be a watershed moment for us as a country, especially because the military high command takes responsibility for this. We must see the commander-in-chief himself take front and center role in this matter and demand answers of his military high command, the rank and file of the military that sanctioned this operation. This is a democracy.
I think the right and the appropriate and effective investigation be conducted so that what is required by law will actually be implemented or pursued.
Yeah. So that was Newsfile, and of course the newspapers have continued with that story, haven't they? Raymond?
Certainly, the police has given a blow-by-blow account. That's the Manjor life story.
Yeah.
Says of how the soldier was killed. Mm-hmm. Now, in a sum, if you want, I can actually give you every single paragraph, but it's 2 pages, so it's a very long one.
Yeah.
In a sum, what the police is basically saying is that the military had no basis to go there, even though they don't say it directly. What they did not say, which they are saying, is that they had gathered intelligence right from the second day, and that when they went down there, what they found was a man who was killed like any other ordinary man. Unless you open the man's bag, you see military uniform, there is no way you can connect this man to any military. When they found out that he could have connections with the military, they alerted the military. So one, there was no such whatever rescue that was being touted first. Secondly, this business of having to go look for their own who is missing could not come in at all, because the police had possession of the body right from the beginning, and they had alerted them. And it took the police days. Let's not forget, the police basically saying that within the almost a week engagement, we had arrested on different days, not the very last day, on different days, suspects in this matter. And that was what they considered to be intelligence-led. Because what everything in that statement the police had issued last night suggests is that there was absolutely no reason the military deployed people to Ashaiman that day to do the people to round up the numbers they rounded up, because there's no connection between that number and the 6 people that the police, through the proper intelligence-led operation, picked up. In any case, we understand that the 180 or so that they rounded up, they've all been asked to go home. So which ones did they give to the police finally? Which is what we're told by the very distinguished Brigadier General. Agriculture statement says we are actually interrogating this, but we'll handle some of them to the police. Which ones were handed over to the police? And it is pretty obvious that that invasion, that the marauding forces that invaded Ashaiman that day had absolutely no business going there, through this particular statement that the police has issued. And I'm not sure if the police consulted the military before issuing this statement, because we were asking for this statement right from the beginning. Perhaps if they did it early enough to the rest of us in this country, it would have.
But then again, how reasonable is it to?
But even they shared the intelligence with them.
That's the point I'm making, is how reasonable is it for us to expect the police to inform us of their investigation before it's completed?
Before they even pick up the last
before
of
they even exactly how reasonable is it for us to expect that? But they were sharing that intelligence with the military, unless somehow it was not making its way to the military high command, who then decided on what day was it? Was it Wednesday? When did they go there? Wednesday. The military high command just decided on Wednesday that based on some other intelligence which we are yet to be told about, led a whole company of soldiers into Ashaiman to basically go and brutalize anybody and anyone. They rounded up 187 people. None of the 184 people. None of those people were subjects of the police investigation.
Is this my country you guys are describing?
So you see, you have to ask yourself, this is the military intelligence.
Yeah.
So what hope do we have against terrorists?
You know, so at this time when this was happening, I was in Addis, and we're looking at the AU Charter on Democracy, Election and Governance, which we have ratified.
Yeah,
like we do. But Raymond, just back to the statement that you referred to, we've got to commend the police. You know, they give us a post-mortem examination report as well, and then they end by saying, assuring the public and the family, because the suspects that they have in their custody will be put before court today. Today.
So they've been
Monday.
charged.
Yeah. So they give us a step-by-step account of what.
When were the 184 that the military picked up? When would they be charged?
Where are they?
The people and I see Voma was saying that the last batch had been released or something like that sort, and that was like 34 or so. You ask yourself, for over a whole day, our military picked up Ghanaians based on absolutely nothing. Brutalized
based on military intelligence. Let us now classify whatever form of logic leads people to act like that as military intelligence. And please proceed.
Including drivers who were just passing through the area.
That's military intelligence.
Yes. Picked up from official vehicles, asked to actually sit in gutters, be beaten and go through this process.
Yes, military intelligence.
After all of that has happened, none of those individuals end up being one of the main suspects in this investigation. If this is not probed, we are saying our military is lawless. We are telling to the people that the people you trust, and let's not get it wrong, the military is one of the most trusted institutions in the Republic of Ghana. So they've not lost trust. Check over in fact, when politicians are losing trust, when even judges are losing trust, the Afro Barometer indication suggests that it hits the roof. Always in the top 3 most trusted institutions.
Let's see how they fare after this.
Come on.
I listened to Ken Festus Abuaje, and he sort of analyzes it and says, is the political class, is someone using the military to carry out these things? Remember the parliament invasion? We still don't know who ordered it.
It's never been probed.
So there's always somebody making the order.
Well, anyway, but that's the biggest story on the front page of the Daily Graphic. There's one other one that you should be interested in. Vaccines arrive. Immunization resumes for 3 childhood diseases, and that's Sunday. So I don't know if you call it good news, but because in this republic we were very much used to not worrying about when vaccines will come, and whether or not our kids were going to suffer any of the forgotten diseases anyway. But it appeared that this year we needed to be quite worried about it, and for weeks we were just still wondering what will happen. But now they say they've been able to secure it.
Which is a shame, really. So how long, what we have, how long would it take us? I guess it's the question, something that we've never asked, but now we're asking.
Yeah, because, previously it was something that regularity, it would ordinarily happen. You don't need to probe and demand. It would sound irrational to make a demand of whether or not you need to rush to the place to go and get one today.
I want to know where the vaccines came from. Are they from Gavi? Did we buy them through our normal routes? Did we buy them?
Yes, yes, as the minister indicated, yeah.
The minister says we bought these. We didn't get them from some country that has surplus.
No, what he said is that we had purchased from one of those big institutions here.
Oh, is that so? Okay, that's fine.
And that the money has been made available. Because he did a press conference to announce that actually.
Because I was, informed by a source that we were getting ready to receive some surplus vaccines from some neighboring countries. I will not mention which ones. They had surplus. and were ready to give us some. Whether that will still come or not, I don't know. So we bought these ones.
Yes, $6.4 million to UNICEF.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the question is, what is it that this is all we could afford, or this is all that was available?
The story doesn't say that. I mean, this is all we could afford, in fact, but it suggests that this is what we needed to pay to make sure that the procurement and delivery of vaccines is done. Like, as in, like the completion of that process. This is what we needed to do. That's what the story suggests.
Okay. All right.
Anyway. But the rest we understand will be coming in soon. So our fingers are crossed. Now, the last story that attempting to influence judge, chief, and another convicted of contempt. So wow, it's no,
after number 12.
Yeah. So the Bolgatanga High Court last Friday convicted 2 persons, including a chief, for attempting to influence the acting supervising High Court judge, Justice Alexander Graham. The 2 were convicted of their own pleas of guilty. Chief of Bari Nab Nyakora Manti and the secretary to the paramountcy, Richard Sunday Jibil, and for their punishment, they were made to sign a 6-month bond to be of good behavior. And there was, after about 12 lawyers who are attending to various cases had pleaded with the judge to temper justice with mercy and not hand them custodial sentences. The events leading to the convictions were that before the commencement of proceedings, the 2 men sought permission from the court clerks to see the judge in his chambers. And when they were granted audience by the judge in the chambers, the 2 identified themselves accordingly and said they had been sent to deliver a message. They then informed Justice Graham that they had been sent to invite him to be briefed properly to understand a number of mining related cases from the area which were pending before the court. Yes. Immediately the judge realized that the action by the 2 were contemptuous, since there were many mining cases before the court for determination, considered the action of the accused persons as an entrapment to tilt his judgment in a certain direction, quickly walked out and ordered their arrest. The arrested, charged with contempt, and hauled before the court to state that what they are transpired between them and the judge in secrecy. I just pray that all judges will do the same thing.
Is this the kind of thing that you would say is? I mean, is this the kind of offense that you would say we should treat with leniency?
It depends on the judge.
Yeah,
no, I mean, I'm asking your thoughts. I mean, if you had the opportunity, this happened, and you had
there are some contempt issues that have difficulty with. For example, when one is said to be rude, one is said to be misbehaving one way or the other, especially outside court. Ex facie curia, right? But attempting to bribe a judge or influence the judgment is a serious matter.
Yeah.
And I really do not think that yeah, maybe a bigger fine, very huge fine.
I think
I like the idea
2
of
nights in cells or something would have
yeah, I like the idea of really people with authority being caught doing the wrong thing and then being treated like criminals.
That's true.
Just to demonstrate that your authority doesn't immunize you from the law. I like the idea of that.
Yeah,
and by the way, you know the vaccines.
Yeah.
You were saying that the health minister is saying that these were paid for.
Yeah.
They arrived in an Air Force aircraft, right?
Yes.
Okay. From where? All right. Let's move on. Let's see what's in the papers. News review brought to us this morning by Enterprise Insurance. Woodie Wumu Motor Promotion Enterprise, your advantage. How far along are we with these papers?
I'm sure you meant. Let's see what's online.
Online, the online review is brought to you by Zenith Bank in your best interest and Goyle Good Energy. And this morning, Ashaman is in our top story on myjoyonline.com. Tell you about it in a minute.
Yeah, Goyle, your oil marketing company of choice, keeps making life ever so convenient. So Goyle now accepts Momo for all fuel purchases. Remember to Momo it at Goyle. You can also use your bank card, all bank cards, to buy fuel at Goyle, as well as the Goyle Go card as well. And Goyle has inaugurated a refurbished Atiko Junction service station. That's in the papers. So congratulations to Goyle.
Nice one. All right, now listen. One of the best things on my phone is the Z Mobile Ghana app. You need to join Zenith Bank's Easy Banking family by getting yourself this app, or perhaps just by using *966# to enjoy seamless banking on the go. You can make transfers, top up airtime, pay bills, pay for goods and services, and so much more. Join the Easy Banking family and experience easy banking with Zenith Bank in your best interest. And you can check out all the big stories on myjoyonline.com. Right now, it's time for the BBC News, brought to us by Fidelity Bank.
Believe with us.
Oh, Jack, now, where are you in a hurry to?
Child, I'm going to